What a game. The Indiana Fever snap the New York Liberty's undefeated streak.
The word undeniable exists for a reason, and it applies to Caitlyn Clark. She is just absolutely undeniable, and her return to the Indiana Fever showed it once again. It felt like a jolt of energy to the WNBA, obviously to the Indiana Fever.
The WNBA may have just made the most embarrassing mistake in sports history. Right after Caitlyn Clark returned from injury and dropped 32 points on the defending champion Liberty, someone in a suit decided she needed her 11th drug test of the season. The internet's response? Swift, brutal, and downright hilarious. Now the league is facing backlash they never saw coming. So the question is, are they really trying to sabotage their biggest star, or are they just this incompetent by accident?
I'm gonna say it. Caitlyn Clark is the best basketball player in the world. She's the best basketball player that I have ever seen. She is the difference maker. She is the needle mover. She is the face of basketball right now. It's really hard not to recognize the difference that she makes on the Indiana Fever, a team that was obviously struggling with playmaking, struggling with pacing, struggling with the things that make us want to watch. And she steps into that court, and in the first quarter, she made...
Let's start with the facts, because honestly, they're so ridiculous they sound made up. Caitlyn Clark returns from a 5-game injury break, drops 32 points on the defending champs, and leads her team to a statement win that ends New York's undefeated streak. And how does the league reward her? With a mandatory drug test, her 11th this season. For context, most WNBA players get tested just 3 times during the regular season and once in the offseason.
And Cunningham is down behind the play, but they've got Caitlyn Clark to fire away from 2 players with incredible...
Someone at the WNBA office looked at Caitlyn Clark's stat sheet and thought, 32 points. After missing 5 games? Yeah, that's gotta be something illegal. Because clearly, talent, preparation, and being really good at basketball couldn't possibly explain it, right? It had to be performance-enhancing drugs. Social media wasn't having it. One user joked she tested positive for goat blood, which might actually be the most accurate drug test result in sports history. Another said they should drug test Scott Foster while they're at it, which honestly might be the most reasonable take on WNBA officiating this season. But my personal favorite response, someone said they should have done a DNA test instead, just to check if Caitlyn Clark is even human. Because honestly, what she did against the Liberty looked supernatural. 3 deep threes in just 38 seconds to start the game, that's not normal, that's video game stuff. The timing of the league's response couldn't be more suspicious or more embarrassing. Clark misses 5 games with a quad injury, comes back against the best team in the league, and instantly reminds everyone why she's the face of pro basketball. Her return wasn't just good, it was historic. The Fever hit a franchise record 17 threes. Clark looked like she never left. And what does the league do? Make sure she's not cheating. The optics are so bad, they make the Titanic look like a minor detour. You've got your biggest star, the player who skyrocketed viewership and brought global attention to women's basketball, and you treat her like a suspected criminal after a career night? The WNBA says drug testing is random, but 11 tests in 1 season for a single player? That doesn't look random. That looks like harassment. Most players get tested 3 times, maybe 4 if they're unlucky. Clark's apparently getting the premium package, complete with post-game specimen collection after every dominant performance.
Good job. No, that we get.
Good job. Squad needed it. Play Fever way. I love it. More of them.
Let's talk about what actually happened in that Liberty game, because Clark's performance was so good, it apparently triggered a drug test. From the opening tip, she was on fire, hitting 3 logo threes in the first quarter alone. Breanna Stewart was giving her 5 feet of space and still had to watch the ball splash through the net. That's not chemicals. That's pure skill and the kind of confidence that separates superstars from everyone else. But the real genius wasn't just the scoring. Clark ran the entire offense, created open looks for teammates, and made the defending champs look average on their own court. Watch the tape. This wasn't a fluke or a hot hand. This was a basketball masterclass from someone who spent 5 games studying how to dismantle the league's best. But instead of celebrating her return, someone at WNBA HQ decided it warranted an investigation. Because clearly, greatness needs explaining, right? Talent, work ethic, and basketball IQ couldn't possibly be enough. Fan reactions told the whole story. One nailed it. Quote, "The WNBA can't believe they finally have a good player." That's the vibe. The league seems so unaccustomed to true superstar talent, they don't know how to respond. Another user pointed out that Clark gets drug tested more often than Angel Reese scores points per game, which honestly is both hilarious and mathematically accurate. The jokes write themselves. 12 assists? Must be drugs. Logo threes? Suspicious. Making your team better just by stepping on the floor? Time for another test. The WNBA has created a bizarre situation where excellence automatically equals investigation.
Congrats on your great performance.
Thanks.
Just want to let you know you have a huge fan base in Hong Kong.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And
hopefully I'll get there one day.
And today, there are 5 Hong Kong fans fly from Hong Kong to
No way. Oh my gosh.
And the hour is 22 hours.
No way. Oh my
any-
goodness. Well, I wish I could have
just
met
want to say
them.
this, including me.
If you
So-
know them, tell them thank you for coming. That's
So-
incredible.
Yeah. So any plans you will visit Hong Kong with your teams in the future years?
Yeah, maybe we'll head to Hong Kong after the season. I mean, I certainly hope to go to Hong Kong one day. It's incredible to see the type of reach that we can have and how much people love basketball across the globe. So that's really cool. So if you know them, tell them I say hello and thanks for coming as well.
Yeah, thank you. Hope one day to show you around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's what makes all of this even more ridiculous. Caitlyn Clark's dominance isn't some shocking new development. She's been doing this since college. The deep threes, the no-look passes, the elite court vision, it's all standard Clark behavior when she's healthy. Anyone who's followed her career knows this is her normal. So when the league hits her with a drug test after that Liberty game, it sends one of two messages. Either the WNBA doesn't understand its own superstar, or they don't want to believe she's actually this good. And neither explanation looks good for league leadership. That game wasn't a fluke. It was Clark being Clark. With her back, the Fever looked like a completely different team. The offense flowed, teammates thrived, and suddenly they were hanging with the defending champs. Social media shredded the league's decision. One comment summed it up perfectly. Quote, "The WNBA can't believe they finally have a good player." Another added, "Clark's been drug tested more than Angel Reese scores points." Which honestly checks out. The jokes kept coming. 12 assists? Must be drugs. Logo threes? Better test her again. She's making her teammates better? Time for another sample. The league's now in this bizarre position where elite play triggers suspicion instead of celebration. And it gets worse.
When Steph Curry drops 9 threes, the NBA posts a highlight reel. When an NFL QB throws for 400 yards, the league puts him on a pedestal. But in the WNBA, greatness leads to lab work. One brutal comment pointed out that Clark has been drug tested more often than she's been properly marketed, which hits at the core of the league's identity crisis. She's a generational talent, drawing unprecedented attention, and the league's response is suspicion. Her return game was must-watch TV. She exceeded expectations, created viral moments, and gave the WNBA exactly what it needs: mainstream buzz. And yet, they drug tested her. Again. Officially, testing is random, but when the same player keeps getting singled out, especially after big games, it stops looking random and starts looking personal. The irony? Clark should be the league's biggest celebration. She draws crowds, sells merch, and raises viewership across the board. Instead of building around her brilliance, they're apparently building their testing schedule around her stat line. Fans aren't laughing with the league, they're laughing at it. When jokes about testing get more engagement than the game itself, your priorities are out of whack. The comments say it all, from testing other players for why they can't keep up with Clark, to suggesting she start demanding to see their results for a change. The creativity has been endless because the league's decision is endlessly mockable. One user nailed it. Clark gets drug tested more often than most players get meaningful minutes. That line hits two truths: the absurd level of scrutiny Clark faces, and the gap between her and much of the league. The WNBA's handling of this sends the wrong message to its stars. When you've got a player who can change the game, you promote her. You don't treat her like a cheater. This constant testing not only insults Clark, it also undermines the credibility of the league's competition. If one player looks so good you think she must be cheating, what does that say about everyone else?